If you're not happy in whatever case, whatever the scenario is, if you're not happy in your marriage, be a man and tell your spouse that you're not happy and you want out. Be a strong woman and tell your spouse. Don't go out and having affairs. If you're having affairs or thinking about murders, you're not happy. You need to get out.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from your favorite brother-sister duo, sharing relatable life experiences, some tips and tricks, and a whole lot of stories.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
¿Cómo están ahora? Ahora vamos a tener un programa.
Very good, very good. Yes, hello, hello.
Yeah. So, you know what?
Are you good?
It's freaking hot. I took my father-in-law to the
Yeah.
doctor yesterday, and we were leaving like at 3:30 in the afternoon, which is like they say 3 o'clock is the hottest part of the day, or the
I
peak
was gonna
temperature,
say
right?
yes. From 3 to 5 is, yeah, pretty hot.
So we left, mind you, we're pulling the car out from the parking garage of the hospital.
Mhm.
The temperature gauge on the car said 101.
Right.
We pulled out and we're going down the street and going around. It went up to 106. I was like,
Oh, God.
"Wow. Wow." I was like, "Man, this is
Yeah,
crazy." But it's all good.
yeah, it was hot here too. I mean, not as hot, but it was still pretty hot. I think it was around 2 o'clock. I just went to go check on see how dry, like, the plants were getting,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, it says 91, but it feels like 105." I'm like, "Oh, that's gonna be real warm." I went
Yeah.
out there and, yeah, it was hot. Then, like, maybe an hour later, I got a email that they canceled Jackson's game, obviously because of the heat,
Right, right. No, yeah.
but yeah,
I don't see
it
as
was a it was a
much of
hot
that
one.
going on today or this week,
Well,
so,
yeah, this week at all, yeah.
yeah. But I'd rather have it
Toasty,
like
toasty,
this
toasty.
than 20 degrees. That's just my just who I'd rather have that. I'd rather have this temperature than
Yeah,
20
because
degrees.
most likely then the sun is out, for this weather, and at least if I'm gonna be inside the house still, most likely, at least the sun is shining because when it's, like, 20 degrees, the sun is not
Yeah,
usually shining, so it makes it harder to be,
yeah.
living. So,
We're not
yeah,
supposed to
I
get
would
any
take
rain.
this, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're not supposed to get any rain, so I went ahead and washed the cars yesterday, so it was kinda nice.
Oh, nice.
So,
Good job.
yeah.
Yes.
So you know what? Let's go on vacation. I found a beautiful resort
Okay.
in Cancun,
Okay, let's
Mexico.
go.
And this beautiful resort in Cancun, Mexico, I'm not gonna say the name just yet, is a mass I is it's a five-star resort.
Oh,
It's huge, right? It's called a mega resort.
mhm.
So big. It's
Mega.
123 acres. And
Jeez.
yeah, they actually got like 3 resorts on the property. They have one called the Sunrise, the, Nizook, and the other one is the Grand.
Oh,
And they got golf, like a full 18-course golf course there. They have
oh, wow.
a full spa, massage, nails, hair, like
Yeah, that's sign me up.
toes, everything. It's like it's really neat. This resort, Sunrise, the Nizook, and the Grand, they got over 2,000 rooms.
Oh,
2,000 rooms. So,
that's a
now
lot
to
of
let
rooms.
yeah, the Sunrise and the Zook have 17 restaurants and 13 bars.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's a
I could see why it says mega.
yeah, and it's all inclusive. They have in-room luxury dining and drinks. You can have a full bar in your room, and it's all included. and they come
So
to
did
your
you book me a
room.
flight?
"Let's go, girl, let's go." They'll come to your room and pick you up and take you to the restaurant in the golf cart, so you don't have to walk because it's so big.
Oh, because it's so big. That's
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. You know what
That
this place
is
is
a
called?
luxury for sure.
You know what this place is called?
What is it called? What is it called?
The Moon Palace of Cancun,
Hmm.
okay? And it's called the Moon Palace is the whole resort, and they have the Sunrise and the Zouk and the Grand, and
So yeah, all the 3 within it.
within that one, right? But,
Mhm.
you know, funny is I've been there already, and it's gorgeous.
And you
Absolutely,
didn't
like
bring me?
no, it's like we went for our honeymoon, and it's, like, absolutely
Then yeah.
gorgeous, like, so top tier, and I was talking to some of the people while we were there, and this is back in 2009, and people were saying it's a five-star, 3 diamond. So
Wait,
once you
what?
get to the 5 stars from what they were telling me, once you get to the 5 stars, you can't go up anymore. So once you start going up per se, they don't go in stars, they go in diamonds. So you got a 5-star, 1
Mhm.
diamond, 5-star, 2 diamond. Just 'cause a 3 diamond, you can go up to a 5 diamond. Well, I think one of the
Wow.
things the reason why it's a 3 diamond is because the cost of going to this place, it's not really all that crazy
It's
expensive. It's pretty, it's manageable for, like, a family.
affordable.
If you plan and you budget,
Well, you save it,
beforehand,
yeah.
you can do it. Yeah, I was wrong. I thought it was 18 hole. It's a 27 hole signature Jack
Oh,
Nicholson signature golf course. Yeah, and they've
wow.
got so the Sunrise is more the family-friendly park. They got a water park there,
Oh, okay.
and it's, like, for, like,
Nice.
kids and teens, and they got a teen nightclub. So,
How
it
fun.
yeah, and I know when we went, they had a discoteca for adults.
Oh, nice.
Man, that place
Mhm.
was popping, girl, popping.
Packed, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sure.
the sound system in there, like, when it was a good, reggaeton song or something like that, boy, that
Your
bass is
heart was you felt it
yeah, you could
in your
feel it.
chest?
I go,
Yeah.
"This is nice." And the cool thing is you go there, drinks and food are included 'cause, it's all inclusive.
Well, yeah, but the all-inclusive, that's the
Yeah,
best way to go.
I'm like, "That's
For
nice."
sure, that's you know who
So
else I think has stayed there? I think Luke Bryan, because I think that's where they have done
yeah,
their Crash My Playa thing,
yeah, they just had one this year.
actually. Now that I think I would say they have it, I think,
Yeah,
every January.
yep,
One
we
year,
need to
I'll
go.
go. I didn't realize it was that. I thought it was that one, but I wasn't completely sure. But then when you said it, I was like, "Wait, that sounds familiar."
Mm,
Yeah, that'd be
yeah,
fun.
but so, apparently, this is not the place to go if you're gonna go with your spouse and try to get away with murder. Because back in 2010, April 8th, they found a body.
That's yeah, that's alarming.
Mhm.
That's no good.
Yeah. Apparently, the husband killed the daughter or killed the wife, and the husband was a former Survivor producer back in 2010 of April. Monica Borgos, a Brazilian-born woman, while she was on a vacation with her husband and 2 children at the Moon Palace Spa
Mm,
and Golf Resort in Cancun, Mexico. So the body was
wow, a
discovered.
year after you went.
Yeah. So when we got back and, like, that later year, the next year we heard about this, we're like, "Oh my goodness." But I'll give you something funny about it. This is kinda crazy. So my wife and I, they came by and picked us up at our room and put us on the golf cart, and we were going to the spa. I was gonna go get a full
Mhm.
aroma something, something therapy massage thing, right?
Yeah.
It was like this long, crazy name, but it was really cool. So they came picked us up, and we went, and my wife was waiting at the bar for me to get done with my thing. So I got done. They got put us in the golf cart and took us back. and wherever we wanted to go, whether the room or wherever else they're gonna drop us off. On the way back,
Mhm.
my wonderful darling wife is we're going cruising on a golf cart. She's like, "Oh my god, look at that snake!" And the guy driving the golf cart, he like did a complete U-turn on the golf cart lane and turned around. I was like, "What?" And you know what it was? It was the sewer line from the golf resort area going back. This sewer line had to be like 12 inches, and it has a blue stripe, and
Oh, wow.
she thought it was a snake. So, yeah,
That's funny.
it was funny. We had a great time, and so apparently when we went, if you go and stay at the Nazook at the Moon Palace, you can go to any of the other resorts there on the 123 acres, or you can go to
Mhm.
the 2, I think it's 2 or 3 downtown on the hotel zone area for free. You get a
Oh, that's
room and
nice.
drinks and everything, and they pay for transportation to go back and forth. So it's pretty
That's
cool.
fancy.
So yeah,
Very nice.
so this producer, this apparently
Survivor producer reality show
yeah,
guy
yeah,
is a little
that
bit of
guy.
trouble.
Yeah,
He, uh,
go ahead and
he
tell
caused
us the
some
wonderful
trouble.
story. Tell us the
He
story.
caused, uh he caused some trouble before they decided to go on vacation.
Mhm.
He and his wife were madly in love. 1997 is when they met. 1999, they got married. They had their lavish luxury lifestyle in LA. Then she was a very successful nightclub owner and restaurant owner. And then with him and his reality producing stuff, they both did pretty well off, let's just say. Then,
Good way to put that.
well, I'm just saying. So, they were working different schedules. She was working night shift a lot of the time, and he's working day shift. So, that already starts to cause a little bit of strain in a marriage, relationship, all of both. And yeah, he decided that he was going to go on with an affair with a fellow producer.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that was not a smart idea, but, they were starting to have a little bit of problems since they were not on the same schedule, which is not the right thing to do, but I could see how that happens. It seems to happen a lot
Yep.
with people that are on different schedules.
Can I pause you for a minute?
You can. Thanks for asking.
I've got something to say. And
Yeah.
some people just have a hard time with this. Personally, if I am not attracted or sexually fulfilled or unhappy or want a different life, whatever the case is with my spouse, I'm just gonna tell
Mhm.
my spouse that say, "Hey, this is what I've got. This is what my situation is. This is where I feel that I am in.
Mhm.
And I felt this for a while, blah, blah, blah. We just need to go our separate ways."
Right.
Having a affair, for one, is not there's a lot of things that's gonna happen. You're gonna make a lot of people unhappy and anger and all this with that. And then with this anger, and then you go out of the country to this beautiful luxury all-inclusive resort, and you ask her,
Mm.
"What did that do for you, buddy?"
Yeah, it
I
gave you no
just
benefit. That's for
people
sure.
like I said, I asked my sister if I can just pause her for a minute for the simple fact that I think a lot of people need to know that, hey, if you're not happy in whatever case, whatever the scenario is, if you're not happy in your marriage, be a man and tell your spouse that you're not happy and you want out. Or be a woman, be a strong woman and tell your spouse. Don't go out and having affairs. If you're having affairs or thinking about murders, you're not happy. You need to get out. Sorry, Lisa. I just
Yeah.
need to say that. Go ahead.
No. It's yeah. That's true facts. True facts. I mean, Bruce said that Monica was the love of his life, and,
Was she?
maybe she was at that time before, but then things changed. Those things do happen. But, yeah, so she found out about this affair on around Valentine's Day. How lovely. What a lovely gift.
Oh
So
boy.
she, uh,
Oh,
she she confronted him about it, which many, spouses would if they found out, and, obviously, she was not happy, for sure. Wrote her an email, an
don't even have
email, like, really?
don't have the freaking courage. Don't have the man.
Like,
Somebody revoke his damn man
ugh.
card. Revoke his damn man
And I'm
card.
like, so you can't have a conversation, so you write an email. Okay. So that's the number one. That's a red flag there. But anyway, he said he described to her in this very long email to his wife, the first time they had, relations and, where it was and gave descriptions, which, you know, I don't know if that's good or bad. Some people want to know exactly when and where and all that stuff, and some people just want to know what happened and not to that detail, but he gave all the details. We said he has love for her, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, she was not happy, probably more so about getting an email about this affair because, yeah. But he wrote her this email about 1 month before they went on their trip. They went on their trip in April. So, yeah, he wrote all that. She obviously did not take that well. She changed the locks in the house. She was telling him that they were going to get a file for a divorce. She was done until he decided that he was going to convince her that, you know, they should be together and it's going to be fine and he will break it off with this, Joy was the lady's name. The with the affair. He's going to break it off and they should just continue to go onto their family vacation the following month in April. And unfortunately for her, she chose yes and she did not get to live after that.
Mm-mm.
So that was not the correct choice for her, clearly. But
No.
they went on their trip with their two children, mind you.
Mm,
Their two
mm,
children. I think 5 and 7, I wanna say, but they were
yes.
young, these
Hmm.
2 children. They flew to the Moon Palace Resort and Spa. The first couple of days, it was good, according to him. The
It's
staff
always good.
members and
Hey,
everything didn't seem like there was any problems until the 4th day. That is where everything went wrong.
it all went wrong. Her body was discovered April 10th, of 2010. Keep this in mind. Inside of a sewer. Inside of a sewer where
Yeah,
previously
like
to him murdering her, he strangled her and beat her
mhm.
to get rid of her. Where were these two kids? Do these two kids see this?
That's yeah.
You know, wh- wh-
Yeah, that's the part I'm struggling with this whole, mystery or this whole situation. Like the kids obviously were there in the hotel room. I pray to God that they were, passed out and didn't see anything. But
do you know there was
from
yelling?
what I, that's what I had read from other guests, the guests that were below them or above them. I
They
can't
heard,
remember. I
yeah,
just
they
like it,
heard all
but
that.
they heard yelling and screaming and asking for help. So the kids had to have been in there. I hope to God at least they were in the bathroom. a door closed so they couldn't see anything. They just heard it, which is obviously still very traumatic. But, there was some kind of sounds, so people did hear it, and he decided that he was going to go in and out of that hotel room 11 times from 11 p.m. till 3:30, 3:40 in the
Mhm,
morning.
mhm.
His key card did, rang up on their log
Right.
11 times.
Now, when I was there in
So
2009, there that whole resort has got I mean, they got cameras, like, on the trees and, I mean, everywhere, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Well, I seen them, but here's the thing, just because there's a camera and you can see, though does not mean
Doesn't
that
mean they're
those cameras,
working.
they're active. A lot of places put up cameras
Right.
just as they call them dummy
Like the
cameras.
phony ones?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, your key card registers every time it's used and where it's used. That's called an access control system.
Right.
So, they're able to track all this. So, he did
Mhm.
his thing, right? He did his thing. But here's a screwed up part. They're in a different country, right? So, the way they handle things are a little
Yep.
bit different. If there's
Yes.
anywhere that I
Very
definitely
different.
do not wanna go to jail in is in another country, because I've watched so many
No.
documentaries about penitentiaries and just stuff like this, right? Murders and all that,
Mhm.
and people say that, going from, like, Mexico or Colombia or South America and then get extradited to come to the United States and do the time here in the United States, they're like, "Thank you, because this is like a hotel and spa resort compared to where we came from."
Compared to that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
so hopefully these
I
poor
watched a
kids didn't
little
hear
bit of
that.
a documentary about him when he was in his stay in Mexico, and he wrote about it, how his stay was. I'm like, "Good, deserve it." But, yeah, so well, obviously, I think he's guilty, but, so, yeah, so, she back to his little his story of playing that he doesn't know what happened, that night that they people heard stuff, he went on ahead the next day, was living life normally. He said that his wife left. She was gonna go shopping. She left at 8:30 in the morning shopping and spa day, and he didn't expect her to return back until 10 PM. Like, really? Like, and left her phone, left her passport, left all of her
Yeah.
belongings. If she was going shopping, don't you think she would need her purse or, like,
Yeah.
money? Her phone, like,
Credit
those kind of
card,
things?
yeah, like your purse, your credit card, your wallet stuff, right? Or your
Mhm.
ID and your phone, right? And a credit card. I mean, that's just like
Right.
bare minimum essentials. The more even back in 2010 when this happened, I mean, that was always, credit card, phone, your credit card, driver's license, and your phone. There's like always the essentials when you leave. So
Right.
yeah,
Definitely.
I'm not buying it now, and I'm not saying that he was guilty, and I'm not saying that he wasn't guilty. But here's the thing: if my wife comes up missing, my day is not going to be just day as the next day, and it's like, okay, we'll deal with it when they figure it out. I'm freaking out, and I'm trying to figure out who did it. You know,
Right.
I'm
You're
like
trying to
pushing people.
search, you're trying to look.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're
I
trying to
don't
man
buy
for
this.
cameras. I mean,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
especially because that night after people heard fighting and all that stuff,
Right,
or before, he put the do not disturb tag on the door for the whole day. He didn't want the maids or nobody to come in, and
yeah, I don't
anytime somebody was gonna try, he said that the kids were napping, so he didn't want them in there. So
I don't
either
buy
she was, deceased in there and he hadn't put her in the sewer yet,
it.
or,
Right,
there was still the mess and he was trying to figure out how to clean it in a
right.
hotel. like, that's
Right,
gonna be a little difficult. You don't have your cleaning chemicals there, the
right.
maids do. So
That's the other thing
maybe,
too is
maybe that's why he went in and out of the room a whole bunch of times to see if he could find cleaning stuff or I
right.
mean, I that part we don't know, obviously, but
Mm-mm.
he, it's, interesting for sure.
Well, that's what one of the investigators were saying that they got her murdered. What she thinks she got when she died was like 11 something one night. And another investigator said that no, she didn't die till the next day at like 11 or 12 o'clock the afternoon the next day. So the variations, and
Oh,
that's where
geez.
things started getting screwed up, trying to exactly
Right,
point him in that, the that he was the one that did it because the time of when she was
right,
killed or murdered, whatever the case was, and then this whole thing, they only had one suspect.
right. There's nobody else was looked
He's
at,
cooked. He's
nobody
cooked.
else was thought of. Like,
Right.
there was literally nobody. None of the, other guests, they never had altercations with another guest.
uh
She didn't have, any problems with any of the workers, like, there was nobody else that could be a suspect. So,
Right. If they
you
were in
know,
California,
it
though,
just X marks the spot. That there you
right.
go. That's
But if
who you're with, like,
but if you were in
yeah.
California, at least they could have said, well, it could have been one of the people that she works with or somebody she knows if they were still in California.
Right,
Now you're in a whole different country. It's you and her, and that's it. I mean,
right,
unless some kind of
exactly. So,
strange
it
murder she was,
makes it
yeah. I don't
it
buy it.
makes it
You're
even
guilty.
more obvious, like, it's almost like it was dumb on his part because if that's what he was planning or maybe he wasn't planning to do that, but maybe, because she confronted him about the cheating stuff again during that time. So whether he was planning to do that or not, especially there where you're going to be the only suspect, like that was not a good idea, bro.
Mm-mm. He cooked himself.
You sure
Yeah,
did.
yeah. So
Yeah, he definitely did.
so all this, you go down there, hope you have a good time with your family, try to how would you say, reconnect with your loved one, who's somebody who is the love of your life, you know, and you got 2
Right, that you're
children
pleading
with.
that not to get divorced and,
Yeah,
you're gonna be back together and
mm,
lovey-dovey.
yeah,
Well,
and this is
I don't
like,
think so.
I don't know, I don't buy it. So they got him there, he was going back and forth, he was a prime suspect in this whole case, right? And
Yes.
then they got him in jail, and they released him, said that you can't leave the country. You gotta stay here. So you had to stay
Right,
there.
they confiscated his passport
Right.
when he
How did
was
he
in
get back to
Mexico.
California?
That's what I don't understand either.
So
Like,
he is
how?
a US citizen in Cancun. You got no passport to go back to the United States, but he mysteriously ended up back in California. Well, when he was there in
And he was
California,
not even hiding.
no, he was out in like plain daylight. So he's out there.
Yeah,
He
working
gets
on
caught.
his house, playing with his kids, like, what the
So he's back over there and just like, life is just like hunky dory. Yep. So what? I killed their ass.
Yeah. Like,
And
yeah,
then he,
just normal just
mm,
behavior.
I would have went back to the U.S. if I still had my kids out of Mexico. I would have went back to the U.S. to get my kids back into the United States. Right. But the kids were already back in the U.S. They were being watched by
The
his,
kids went back right away.
yeah,
Yeah,
with his parents. The kids were being watched by his parents.
correct.
So there was no reason for him to go back to the US, and they still haven't found the murderer who killed his wife. Lisa, I
Right,
mean, like
so
99.9% of the people that I know, if our spouse has been murdered, we're probably not leaving until we start getting a lot
No.
a lot of answers, you know? And here's the other thing too,
Yes.
the body was found. So the body didn't get sent to the US right away, 'cause they were still doing investigations
Mm-mm.
on all that, right? So I think it was what,
Right.
2 or 3 weeks after the body got extradited back to the US after the
Mhm.
murder? Man,
Yeah.
I wanna know who killed my wife. I'm staying here. I'm staying here in Mexico unless
Yeah.
unless you're guilty and you know you're getting ready to go to penitentiary in Mexico. You know, if I know for sure I'm going to
And
penitentiary in Mexico, I'm not going back to the US. We're gonna go to, like, South Africa or Russia or something,
well,
you
and
know?
that's what they thought maybe had happened because, he was a producer of Survivor and he had been in those conditions. And so they knew he knew how to live off the grid if he
Right.
needed to.
Mhm.
So they had thought that that was a possibility. But
Yeah.
no, he was just, there back in LA, clear view, working on his garage, working on his home. You got all of the paparazzi people just snapping pictures, and
Mhm.
he's just minding his own business. Like, oh yeah, my wife died. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. She just, she was murdered, but I don't really care.
But the love of my
Like that's if
life.
that's not right. If that's not the red flag, like I don't know what is. That's like painted as clear as day that he is the one that did it.
He's not a good murderer, you know? It's just
No.
not. He's not a good
And then
murderer.
he had said no, he they the unbeen but the thing that was hard in the beginning is that they only had, they didn't have a murder weapon or anything like that, but they did notice that he did have scratches on
Mhm.
him, on his hands and neck and stuff,
And so did
but he
she.
blamed that on his kids.
But
Yeah,
she had scratches too, and
he
I'm like,
blamed it on the kids. So
I'm I'm not no investigator, but if the murderee, right, has got,
mhm,
blunt forces, scratches, beatings, bruises, whatever the case is, and the murderer has got scratches and scrapes and stuff like that, my finger's starting to go that way. That little wheel with my
mm,
finger starting to go,
yeah,
what a dum dum. What a dum dum.
yeah, for sure.
So so after they found the body, right? And
Mhm,
his kids are back in the US with his parents. What are they waiting on? What are they
yeah.
waiting on?
Yeah, I don't know because I mean, like we said, though, there was no murder weapon found or anything like that.
Right?
So
You got hands.
and there was no other person. But especially if he decided to flee, I don't know why they let that happen to begin with. If
Right,
you are a huge suspect in a murder in another country, mind you, wouldn't the police in that country be monitoring this guy, watching where he's going, or even have him in a certain, I don't know, like not a safe house, but something like that so they can watch him. But
right.
no, he just was able to leave without a passport. So how does that happen also? I don't get that.
Did he
I mean,
cross
maybe he tried to pull some kind of strings with somebody else or and crossed obviously illegally back. But then the fact that they just let him be in LA for all that time without his passport and everything and just be normal is so wild. Like
Yeah,
it's very wild.
so what happens while he's in the US? Mexico so the US captures him, right? Because
Right.
they want him back. So the US extradites him back to Mexico.
Back to Mexico.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
and believe me, he wasn't going to the resort. He wasn't going back there.
No.
He was going to the
No.
Mexico penitentiary resorts where he was going. So he went back to, they got him back to Mexico. They extradited him back over there and found him guilty. So they went through court
Mhm.
cases and all that. I think he was, what, 2 years before they actually got him a sentence, something like
Yeah,
that.
2 years and 9 months is
Yeah.
what it said.
So then they sentenced him, and he got sentenced to, I believe, 15 years? 12 years in prison.
12.
Yep. And then, he did 7 years, and they released him for good behavior.
And he paid $2,000 restitution so he can go.
Wow. For murder.
Like,
But here's the there was so
yes,
but the investigation was so dirty. There were so many, dirty
it was
how
not
would
a
you
thorough investigation.
it was,
There's
so
a lot of, holes in the investigation for sure.
and then he's a person that has got a lot of status, right? So I
Right, a high
the
profile.
Yeah, he's a profile case. So I'm sure this investigation and judgment on his sentence was probably pushed a little bit through, in the government because of the profile person that he was. But
Mhm.
I mean, I just 12 years to get sentenced 12 years for a
Is
murder
nothing.
is nothing. They were still
No.
married, right? So that's I mean, I just find this very hard to to say that that was justifiable. Was it 12
Yeah,
years? Yeah, I
absolutely
mean,
not.
no, you know, um,
I mean, yes, he did serve time in the Mexican prison, which is not a good place. I mean,
they say
prison ever obviously isn't good at all, but
right,
in that one specifically, they said in the beginning he was in like a higher risk section,
right,
and there was cartel members,
yep,
in there. There was assassins in there in the area that he was before he was moved to the Gen Pop area. And then in the cell that he was moved into, it's probably only really meant for 3 people, I think it said, and
that's
there was
it,
17
yep,
people in
yeah,
there.
and
I'm
then
like,
they started
so,
their
the
breakfast
living
came in a bucket. This
yeah,
breakfast
he
came in
said
a
it was some
bucket
kind of
with
brown liquid
frijoles
with
in it.
some beans under it.
I'm like, "What?"
I'm like, yeah,
But, I also
that's pretty bad living conditions. I mean, not that
yeah,
he deserves, luxury, obviously, but
no.
yeah, that was
One
pretty
of the
pretty brutal.
one of the documentaries that I was taught that I was watching or listening to, talking about the penitentiaries in Mexico and other countries around the world compared to the US, that 1 year in or 1 year in the United States in another country is
Mhm.
like serving 5 years because it's so freaking brutal. There's no AC, there's no heat, it's just hot, humid, body odor, food, they don't take care of you medically wise, none of that stuff, right? So there's a lot of
Right.
diseases floating around in these penitentiaries in other countries. So when you come to the U.S., like El Chapo even said
Mhm.
that he's here in the United States now. He's like, this is like freaking Ritz Carlton. This is nice compared to what I had in Mexico. And he goes, and he said he was even the one paying for his living area down there to have a little extra stuff, So
But
yeah, so this poor woman, or this poor family, I should say, lost a loved one because this
mhm.
person, I'm not even gonna say a man because he's not a man at all, was out
No.
having an affair. And he knew that it was gonna come down. He was getting ready to lose his family and whatever money is after. I'm guessing that's what he was after. He was gonna lose all that.
Possibly.
So how do you not lose all that? And that's just to get rid of her. And then everybody
Mhm.
looks at him as poor pity, guy, ex-husband, widowed husband, and he doesn't look bad. So, but he he killed her and got caught. and
Yeah,
these people
which
have
is
to I mean, thank goodness at least he got caught and spent some time. Thank goodness for that, right?
yes,
But
right, that he didn't
the
get away with it.
the punishment and this is like and it is going and it's still going on, and it's actually gotten worse. The punishment for your actions are not cruel enough or harsh enough to make people think
For
that,
the
that make them think twice of what they're gonna do, what their action's gonna be, right?
yeah,
Whether you go steal a piece of bubble gum or you commit murder or you shoot somebody or whatever the case is, the punishments are just not harsh enough anymore. I think we need to go
no,
back to
yeah.
like the cutting the hands and the fingers and stuff like that off.
Oh
I think
god,
that's what
I don't
we
know
need to
about
do.
all that, but yes, yes, more time needs to be served for
Yeah.
lots of different crimes and lots of different things that people have done, not just this situation, but many others that I've read
Mm,
about since,
yeah.
Crime Junkie
So
person, but
I don't how old was Monica when this happened?
on her 42nd birthday is
42nd
when
birthday.
that
Okay.
that's when they found her body, on her
So
42nd birthday.
my here's my the way I think about this. She was 42 years old.
It
Average
was her
person lives
birthday trip.
I know. 42 years old. The average person lives to about 80, right? I think they need to serve
Mhm.
the amount of time that they got left to live. So she had 38 more years, just to say, average. He should have
Mhm.
served 38 years. That's the way I look at it.
Well, yeah, because, he served a little bit of his time, and then he was able to go back and
Yeah.
go live his life like normal. And, he can go on to be married again or have more
Mhm.
children if he wanted and just, put that chapter's closed. Like, I'm moving on. I can do whatever I want now.
Mm-mm. So Bradford Redmond
So
maintained his
that
innocence throughout the trial and appeals and process. After serving roughly half of his sentence with the credit of time served in both the U.S. and Mexico, he was released from Mexican prison for good behavior on September 2019 and returned to Southern California.
right.
This was
For that short
yeah, these people.
the short crime that he did.
Right. After initially being released by the Mexican authorities, Bradford illegally crossed the border back to California. Following an extradition process, he was sent back to Mexico in 2012 to stand trial that began in March 2015. He was convicted of homicide and sentenced to 12 years in prison. Convicted of homicide. Here's the thing. Why did they not get him also for leaving the
For
country?
murder. Well, yeah, that too.
You know
Because
what I'm saying?
technically he fled.
He fled, right? So unless Mexico doesn't have that,
Yeah, because he didn't have his passport. So,
man, you
yeah, that should have been another charge.
you don't want me doing the convictions. I
Especially
tell
being
you,
Mexico, you would think
it'd be harder,
you
right?
would think that Mexico would have been more strict with that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You don't want me doing convictions
Which
because I throw the freaking book at you.
guilty. 100
I,
years.
only thing I need to know is innocent or guilty. If you're found guilty, I'm gonna do the sentencing. That's put me in front.
Right.
I want to do the sentencing. Let me do the convictions here. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't care
you
who
do
you
the
are.
like I told Jackson, I said, "You do the crime, you do the time, no matter what it is."
So, that's just. But
Yeah.
to get out of the case, right?
Mhm.
What did he do? What did he do that was served good time, or who got paid off to be able to released in
Right, that's kinda what I think had to have happened,
somebody,
because his parents were sending him money to the so he was able to buy better food, so he
right?
wasn't eating that. So, I'm sure they sent him money where he can pay them off also to, be able to, go ahead and leave the because they said he had paid $2,000 for restitution also. So
Mhm.
who knows how much more money he paid them off to be like, "Peace out. I'm good. I've done my time here."
So he's 55 years old right now.
Currently.
Currently, he's 55 years old. I'm trying to see
Yeah.
if he had any more reality shows and all that after.
After, I
Yeah,
couldn't find that he was in any other reality
I
shows
hope he's
or
broke.
produced any others.
Hope he's
Yeah.
broke, living under a bridge somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I usually would never wish ill will on anybody, but that man does not deserve
Uh-uh.
to be living a free life with his children, mind
Uh,
you, because again, if his children were exposed to that, what was the conversation that was with his children? His
right.
children are forever going to have, some kind of therapies because of that as well,
Mhm. No, no, that's and
you
that's
know?
that's so true. The it's kinda like the way I think about it is, you know, a pedophile, somebody who takes a child, right? They're considered a
Mhm.
pedophile, and
Right.
the prison system has their own way of dealing with certain types of people. If you're
Right.
a chomo, as they call them, the pedophiles, they call them chomos in the prison system. They're gonna get rid of that
Okay.
person. They're gonna get rid of that person. They're
Yeah,
gonna take care of it
they're not
with their own
liking.
ways. My personal belief
Yeah.
is the best pedophile is a dead pedophile. That's just that's my motto. A good
Yeah.
pedophile is a
Yeah.
dead pedophile, a murderer who does something like this, either that person needs to serve the remaining life that that person that they killed, or they
Mhm.
need to be sentenced to death, but not by electrocution, not by injection, nothing easy. I want you to see what's getting ready to happen to you. Like I say, you don't want me doing convictions. You don't, people. I'm telling you, you don't.
But yeah,
You
definitely
know,
not.
just,
You'd be torching for them for sure.
yeah. I want to see how long your finger will
Yeah.
stretch out for.
Yeah, they nasty.
You know, uh, so these these sewers that he put where he put Monica, these sewers, they got you can see them on the
Mhm.
grounds. They got little fiberglass caps on them, and I say little, but they're about 2.5, 3 feet long by like 2 feet wide, and that's the cover
Oh,
for
wow.
the sewer tank right next to each section of the resort, the rooms. It may have like 20 room
Mhm.
sections, right? Each one of those has their own little sewer thing. And that's where he put her. He put her inside that tank thing, which in a kind of a way is kind of smart because like who's going to look in there? But it was really dumb
Well, yeah.
if he would have got away with it, right? If he would have got away with it and went back to the states with his loved ones or his kids or whatever, her body would have been decomposing in that sewer tank, right? But eventually that
Right.
sewer tank, her body is gonna plug that hole, and next thing you know, you're gonna have sewer stuff
Right.
coming out of
It
there, right?
caused problems.
Right.
Yeah.
So he might have got away with getting out of the country, but he's he would have got caught eventually anyways if he didn't get, since he got caught before. But if he didn't and got back to the States, he would have got caught eventually either way. There'd have been no ifs or buts.
Right. Whenever right,
Yeah,
definitely. Whenever the sewer started to clog, then they'd find it. But
man.
yeah, that sewer was only like 3 feet from the his
Yeah.
hotel room also. Like,
Yep. Yeah. So
I mean, come on, dude.
yeah. And you know what's so
Not
funny
a
is
smart criminal,
no, he's not. He was a very not genius person. But all along
clearly.
that hotel zone, and so keep okay. So you got hotel zone in Cancun. It's just I'm gonna paint a picture for y'all who don't know, who haven't been there to Cancun. Cancun has a hotel zone, and that's the upper part of Cancun. That's like the downtown hotel tourist area. Moon Palace is pretty far south of hotel zone. I want to say
Right.
it was like a 25, 35-minute trip down to the resort. And you get off the highway and you pull up to the resort. It looks like a pure jungle with this gate that rises and closes where the cabs and buses and
Mhm.
all that pull into. And they don't open those gates until they have all the names of everybody that's involved of coming in onto their property. And then once
Oh,
they
wow.
yeah, so once they get you in, because it's a very secluded resort. So if you really don't want like the
Mhm.
paparazzis and stuff like that, that's kind of where you go. So they open it up, they get you
I
in,
see.
and then once they drop you off, because when they take your name, they want to know where you're going to, what hotel per se. Once they drop you off at that hotel on that resort, they're gonna call you by your name and get you off to each one. And then when they get you off, they
Mm.
want to see your ID, your passports, whatever you got, to make sure you're the person that they say. Same thing when you leave that resort, they're gonna ask your name and your room number. So if you come up missing, they know who you are. I mean,
Right.
that's
Well,
just the way it is,
that's
right?
good that
It
they're
is good.
very, yeah, thorough.
They're very thorough. So, like I said, I was gonna paint this picture. So they're like I said, they're way down and all along this hotel zone in the upper and lower part of Cancun. There's a lot of swampland, and there's alligators, crocodiles, whatever you want to call them, in that water around those swamplands. I'm like, why would you put her in a sewer, not just dump her in a swamp and let the alligators?
The swamp.
Yeah, I mean,
Very true. Very
he
true.
must have,
That would
he
have
must have,
been, yeah, a lot harder to
yeah,
go well, I said he was a dumb criminal.
yeah. So I'm saying,
That would have been, yeah, more,
so that
yeah, what a dummy.
yeah, to get rid of it, that would have been the thing. I don't condone this at all. I don't condone it at all, but
No.
yeah, it's just one of the things you gotta be smart, people. You gotta be smart. Just tell your loved one, whoever, whether your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever, just tell them you're done. You want to walk away. You're not
Right.
happy. It ain't worth spending this time in a penitentiary. Within that time you're gonna
No,
spend
definitely not.
that time that you're gonna spend in the penitentiary for doing this thing, if you don't get away with it, that time, you could have used that time to change your life and make your life better without that person involved. So it's a
Mhm.
win-win just to walk away, just walk away. So with all that being said, y'all, be smart. Don't
Yeah.
do
Don't,
don't do
do
stuff
dumb
like
things.
this. And like I said, this resort is
No.
beautiful, beautiful, very, very, very top top tier, top notch resort. When we were there, I think our first or second day, I was in the pool and a young lady server came and asked me if I wanted anything to drink. And I told her I'd take a Crown Royal and Coke. Like, okay, I'll bring her right to you. And came back and I was in the middle of the pool. This girl took off her shoes and started walking into the pool because it's like a zero gravity. They got no steps. They came right in. She started walking into the
Oh.
pool to get closer to me to give me my drink. That's the kind of
Oh my
service.
gosh.
That's the kind of service you get there. Yeah. And then they
That's
had
real.
they got a full buffet that they set up outside. And I talked to one of the cook guys at the grill. So they had like a real charcoal grill
Mhm.
outside. They were doing all kinds of stuff. And I asked him in Spanish, I'm like, "Hey, can I get a couple of shrimp, some nice sized shrimp on the grill and a couple tortillas?"
Mhm.
He's like, "Ah, yeah, wait a minute. I get it for you." And tell me in Spanish. We came back with a freaking plate
Mhm.
full of grilled shrimp. And I was like, "Man, I didn't want all this." I kid you not, he probably brought me at least 2 and a half dozen. I only wanted a couple. I
Oh
ate them
my
though.
gosh.
I ate them. I ate them. I was
Well,
full,
yeah,
but I didn't need to
definitely.
eat because I was
You brought
consuming,
'em, might as well.
yeah, I was consuming quite enough alcohol to probably pay for the trip, so I was like, "I need to eat."
Well, yeah, go figure.
Yeah, so, like my wife says that,
Go
these
figure.
all-inclusive resorts, they probably lose money with me because in the amount of alcohol I drink, yeah, they
Yeah.
just pay for the hotel. Like, if you would go to a restaurant in the States somewhere, you get a Crown and Coke, it's 10, $15, and when you're
Yeah.
consuming,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
it's just
sure.
so
When you
weird
go
that,
to those
yeah, they just go down, and it's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna get another one," and you don't get hammered. That's the and I guess, I don't get hammered because I'm constantly eating the food, because they got all kinds of stuff
Well,
next to the
yeah.
pools and
I say there's constantly food. Right.
yeah. We'd go in and my wife would go up and get have them make us a sub sandwich, so you can do that, and then she'd take a couple of cooking things they had on the outside out there, and then we were always moving, walking. When we were to go to the hotel, we liked going for the buffet because they had the best buffet. It was a long hike, so we walked that back and
Mm,
forth, daily, and then there was
right, so
a bar in the middle that they didn't have any chairs around the bar. They didn't have nowhere you had nowhere to like a chair to sit at. They had swings. So you had swings
oh,
around the
okay.
bar, and I'm like, "Man, that's" my wife said, she goes, "This ain't too smart. You get
That's
somebody tips."
dangerous.
Yeah, and they were
No.
concrete. I'm like, "Holy moly." But the
Yeah,
landscape
no, that's
top
dangerous.
tier, the food was top tier, the people were out of this world. I don't care to what resort you go to down there, what inclusive resort. People are fabulous, and they really enjoy you coming
Yeah,
and spending time with them and
yes.
seeing their way of life, and they love taking care of you. Since they love taking care of you, be sure to do one thing, make sure you take care of them. A dollar is
Yes.
nothing to us, but a dollar to them is a lot, and just because I say a lot to
Mhm.
them, don't just give them a dollar. Don't be that person.
No.
You know, I personally give my sir. I talk to them a couple times, going back and forth, and I find out if they're gonna be here the whole week. If they're gonna be here the whole week that I'm there, I'll go ahead and slide them 40, $50, just to get them
In the beginning.
in the beginning. And let me tell you, they will f that person will fight
They'll
to
take
serve you.
care of you for the rest of the day.
Yep, they'll take
Mhm.
care of you. You need suntan lotion? No problem. I go get it for you. You want a toalla? I'll go get it for you. A toalla is a towel. You know, you want
Or even they put
a
the
lollipop.
aloe stuff on
Yeah.
my shoulders the one time. I was like they're like,
Oh,
You have a sunburn, that you we'll go get you something." I'm like, "Okay," and they put the aloe from the
yep.
plant and
From the
start
plant,
putting it on.
fresh.
I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, and
Mhm. Yeah,
this
those
resort,
people, they don't mess around. You take
no,
care of 'em and
they
they're
take
good.
care of you. This resort had a thing where they have a person or people, I just seen that one person or that I dealt with, come by and clean your glasses. Whether you're reading glasses, sunglasses,
Oh,
they clean those for you, and if you're walking, like, from the beach back out onto the concrete where the pool's at and all that, they got somebody to clean your shoes.
mhm.
They clean
Oh,
your shoes
wow.
up. Yeah, this is pretty nice. It's pretty nice, so,
Yeah. 10 out of
go
10, recommend.
yeah, I recommend it. The last time
0
I
out
went.
of 10, murder your wife.
Yeah, 0 out of 10, right. If you're gonna go check out Moon Palace, spend an extra couple dollars and, wherever resort you go to, but I'm talking about Moon Palace, specifically because, I kinda and this really goes to all resorts though. Spend an extra couple dollars and get the upgrades. It's gonna make more enjoyable, you're gonna have more fun, you're gonna do more things, just spend that money. I will say that what do some research if you decide to get oceanfront room, make sure they don't have, how would you say, metal handrails that are facing when the sun rises are constant, because at
Oh,
Moon Palace,
yeah,
they had
that'll be
stainless
hot.
steel handrails, and we had to put towels on them because they were so hot. You'd burn. I
Yeah,
burned
that'd be
my
hot.
forearm. So do that. Make sure you do that. I will say, me personally, we always get ocean view, not necessarily ocean front.
Mhm.
That's just us.
Right.
And, you know, like I said, just spend that
Don't
extra
leave
money,
your
get a
door
nice.
open to hear the ocean waves because
Oh,
you
those
get up
floors get
during the
slippery.
middle of the night to go to the bathroom and you will bust your butt. It gets
Yeah,
slippery.
because the
So
humidity coming in and the
just
air
be mindful
conditioning.
of that.
Yeah, be mindful of that.
Yeah,
It's a
just be
great time. It's
mindful of that.
beautiful.
Only did that.
Uh,
10 out of
so,
10. Recommend traveling to
mhm,
Cancun.
yeah,
Just stay
be
on the
nice.
resort. You'll be fine.
Yeah. We don't, but whatever. We'll have another topic about this because I think this is a
Well,
good topic. But with all that being said, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. Want to say love you all. God bless you all. Smile more. Spread love and happiness. God bless.
we'll see you next week.
Thank you guys for always supporting our show. Please subscribe and review on Apple Podcasts. Follow and rate on Spotify or subscribe on YouTube. 2 Voices, 1 Life Podcast. That's the number 2 Voices, 1 Life Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram and TikTok. That's 2V1 Life Podcast. Also, our Facebook, 2 Voices, 1 Life Podcast. We hope you guys have a great week and catch the new episode next Wednesday. Bye.